Hi everyone, welcome to episode 64 of the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from the very snowy northern Ontario, Canada. Today is December 30th, 2021. I can't believe how fast this year has gone by. It seems like every year the days or the years just go by faster and faster. It's insane. But tomorrow is New Year's Eve. What are your plans? Do you got any big plans? We plan just to have a quiet one here. With everything going on in the world right now, just makes more sense to kind of keep to yourself, I suppose. But that's kind of the norm. I expect to turn on some Netflix, have a nice little drink, alcoholic, of course, and grab my knitting. Don't know if that's the best combination, but whatever. And gonna be honest, I probably won't make it to midnight. I don't know yet, but that's my plans. What's yours? Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you guys are gonna plan to do. To anybody tuning in for the very first time, this is a podcast mostly about my knitting adventures. There is sometimes crochet and spinning. I haven't touched my spinning in a little bit. I'd like to get back to that pretty soon. But yeah, anything fiber related, that's pretty much my jam. So if you're new, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And to my returning viewers, welcome back. I'm going to leave show notes in the description box below. That's where I always leave them. I always put direct links to anything that I talk about, so you can find that there. If you wish to follow me, you can find me on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast, and you can find me on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X. And yeah, my Ravelry hasn't been the greatest of late. I have been trying my best to put projects in there, but yeah, I have been faltering of late. But anyways, so today I just have this cute little puppy dog mug, and as the hot water hits, you can see how the snowflakes are black and it changes them to silver. I just love that. And I am drinking hot chocolate today. I'm having a nice little treat. So grab your warm beverages and let's get started. So I have some, just a couple finished objects, a couple works in progress, and quite a bit of stash enhancements, I guess you could say. A lot of them were gifts. And yeah, it's not going to be a huge episode, but there is content. There was still a lot of stuff that I had knit and gifted away, so there's a big chunk of my knitting that went, but I do have some stuff to show, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to share with you guys today I believe this would be one of the first things that I had finished. So I decided that I wanted to do the new Mystery Knit Along 8 by Imagine Landscapes. My gnome obsession continues, and it was for Gnomeberry. And Gnomeberry, I'm just gonna fix this here. All the clues came out by December 20th, I believe, so I don't think I'm ruining anything, but here is Gnomeberry in all his glory. And he has this sweet little backpack, which we will get to in a few moments. But he was so much fun to do. So he does have this little pocket patch, and yes, mine is a little bit crooked. So he does have this little pocket patch, and it's really cool because she gives you a couple, Sarah is the designer, I don't know how to pronounce her last name correctly, so I'm not going to, but she gives you a couple little ideas of what you could do. So you could put like a little charm, or you could do color work, or duplicate stitch. I did duplicate stitch, and you guys, I am terrible at it, but that was my attempt at a snowflake, and it's whatever. But yeah, he's got like a ribbing on his beard and garter. So there is a couple options in the pattern. So, and there's one modification I made. His body, the main part of his body was in like kind of like a rib stitch to give more texture. I chose not to do that. I just did like a plain stockinette. And for the ridges here, you could do, I forgot what it's called. It's not a Lathium braid, but it's something like it. And I did do it for the top part of his backpack here. And I don't even know if I did it correctly, but I do like it. It wasn't hard at all. But I just decided to do, she gives you the option to do the braid or to do garter. And I just chose to do garter on the body. So, but this was not hard to do at all. If you do color work, it's pretty much easy. It's so simple, but I just chose to do the garter option for the body. So those were pretty much the only modifications I made. He does have this cute little tassel. And she does have a tutorial on her YouTube. She shows you how to do increases, decreases. She shows you how to do the pocket, like putting them together. She does very beautiful tutorials. She does a tutorial with a fork, how you can make tassels. It's very, very informational and very easy to follow. So I do check that out. But yeah, he was so much fun to make. I thought the backpack was just cute. So if you did follow along, there is a cute little story about Gnomeberry and the Gnome of the North, which is that little guy right there. He was the event gnome of last year. So I'm not going to say anything about the story, just in case you wish to purchase it and read it yourself. But Gnomeberry came out, and then she released another pattern update and teased us all with a part 2. So if you purchased the pattern, the Mystery Knit Along 8, you would have noticed that you did get a pattern update for part 2. And part 2 was Gwoot. And he is this cute little gnome. Isn't he just adorable? So, Gwoot goes in the backpack. That is just stinking cute. I love it. So I thought that was really cool. He was worked up in a day. Like, he was worked up in a day, actually. And he was a little less than that. So super quick. I didn't do this as the patterns or as the clues got released. I kind of waited till all the clues were released for him, and then I just knit him all up in one day. But that's just the way that I chose to do it this time. But I rather enjoyed that. He was so much fun. And then little Gwoot here, I ended up making a little bit of a mistake because I didn't read through the pattern first. So same thing with Gwoot. This here, you could have the option to do the braid or the garter. I chose to do the garter. The mistake I made is when I did that, I was supposed to change to color 2 for the body, and I didn't realize that. I thought I was working the hat or something, so I thought the hat and the body were separate, but they were not. So what I decided to do, just to give him a color change, was I decided to do his little arms in blue just to contrast him a bit. It's fine. I'm not upset about it at all. But if you do the pattern and just pay attention when you do the the braid or the garter that you are supposed to change to color 2. It is clearly written in the pattern, but I failed to see it. So yeah, so little Gwoot just, he just sits in the backpack here and hangs out, and they go on their little journey. It's just stinking cute. I love it. So much fun to do. I love these gnomes, and they've been finding a place here on my shelf. I absolutely love it. So there's Gnomeberry and Gwoot. That is by Imagine Landscapes, and I will be sure to put that in the description box below. And he's not going to stand. Oh well, he's back there. Okay, so I will have that in the description box below. So that was the first thing I finished. And I want to cast on another gnome, but I'm trying to be good for right now. Because there are a couple things that I have on the needles that I would like to finish. So I'm just trying to be good about it. Okay. So I think on the last episode I showed these, or the first one, but I got requested for a pair, another pair of mittens, but they wanted them to be slightly thicker. So rather than, I didn't have no chunky wool in my stash, but I did have lots of roving, so I decided to make Thrummed Mittens. So I believe I showed these on the last one, but I think I had the first one done. So I'm not following a pattern for this. What I did is I followed the numbers for the World's Simplest Mitten by Tin Can Knits. And then I checked out Stacey Perry's video, Very Pink Knits, on YouTube. I love her. If you do not know who she is, you got to go check her out. She has fabulous video tutorials on all sorts of knitting techniques and stitches. It's fabulous. So she has one on thrumming. So she shows you the technique of how to put your thrums in. So pretty much I just did the World's Simplest Mitten and just put the thrums in as I went. And I absolutely love them. They are perfect. So I did give them to the receiver, but I had to steal them back to show them. So he has yet to wear them. But here's the first one. And here is the second one. I ended up putting a couple extra thrums in one mitten more so than the other apparently, but he doesn't care. They're nice and warm and they are wonderful. I do want a pair of these for myself, but I'm kind of mittened out right now and I still have to make one more pair of mittens as a gift. Not thrummed ones, just plain mittens, but they're gonna have to go on hold for myself for a while because thrumming is not hard to do. It's stinking simple, but I guess you could say it's a little tedious. The first one flew off the needles. The second one took me a little longer. I guess it's kind of like second sock syndrome, you know. But you don't have to do your thrums every single row. I put a row of thrums in, did 2 plain rows of knitting, and then did another row of thrums. I thought that was spaced out well. And all I did is I staggered, like tried to stagger them. So there's like, I put a thrum in, I think I knit like 3 or 4 stitches. I think it's more like 4 stitches, and then put another thrum in. And then on the next row of thrums, I just looked at my knitting and kind of staggered them. So that's all I did. But yeah, they're absolutely wonderful. I used Cascade 220, which is a worsted weight for the red, and it is not superwash. It's just the regular Cascade 220. And then this blue roving is just an Ashford Corriedale, and it's absolutely soft and beautiful. I love it. and he loves them too. So that's awesome. He can now wear them. So Thrummed Mittens done, which I'm super excited about. Okay, but I will leave the link for the World's Simplest Mittens below, because they are amazing mittens. And if you are not familiar with tin can knits, they are amazing because I don't know if all their patterns, but I know that their mittens, as well as their barley hat and socks, the socks are rye socks, but a couple of their patterns, they give you options for fingering, sport, decay, worsted, chunky, and they just recommend a needle size, but they also go, all their patterns go from baby all the way to, I believe, like a 4X or something like that. So they are incredible for sizing and stuff like that. And they have a lot of beautiful patterns, so do go check them out. Okay. This next project has been the most of my knitting for December, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it and loved it. So for the first time this year, I got an event calendar, and I totally loved it. It was so worth it to be able to open up this little package every morning and pull out a yarny surprise. It was just the greatest thing on the earth. So I will definitely be doing it again next year. I'll be saving up my money. I got my event calendar from Angelle of the Northern Pearl. She is my local yarn store here in Timmins, Ontario. And it was just wonderful. There was little extra goodies that were thrown in there. I don't have them all, but this was day 25. So we got like this little container, and it's got the twist off lid, which I absolutely love. But it's got the light bulb stitch markers, and also this was on one of the days. We also got 2 of these little progress keepers, these little Christmas trees. They both look the same. So I had this on my event project, which was a lot of fun. But yes, it was so much fun to do. Angelle's not sure that she's going to do another advent calendar next year, because they are a lot of work, which I can totally understand that. So we will see, but I'm going to just set aside a little bit of money each month, and definitely will be purchasing another event from somebody because it was fun. So let me figure out where the beginning of this is. Not that it really matters, but okay. So Angelle's calendar came with 25 10-gram minis plus a full skein on day 25 as well. So that was a lot of fun. And I was wanting to do a pattern by Helen Stewart. I think I might have showed it. No, I think I already ripped it out on the last podcast and started this, but that one uses 20-gram minis, and I thought I could make it work, but I just decided not to. The girls over at Cozy Up Knits came out with 2 advent patterns this year. One was written for 20-gram minis, and one was written for 10. So I chose the Sassy Advent Wrap by Cozy Up Knits, and it's this really beautiful stole, or you can join it as a wrap. So there is a provisional cast on that you do, and yes, I forgot to trim that end, but my join was right here, and you can't even tell. So it's wonderful. But you do a provisional cast on, and you can that way at the end, when you're done putting in your colors, you can join it as a wrap, and that's what I wanted to do. So It's really cool because you have, this is your main color. So for my main color, I chose to hold a strand of fingering with mohair. So it's just a plain white fingering and mohair. And then you have 6 different stitch patterns. So this is the first one, which is like a chevron-y pattern. And then you have like a checkerboard. I think this one here is my favorite. I don't remember all the names, but there's the next one. This one is like a slip stitch design. That one was a lot of fun to do. And this one is a lot of fun to do as well. So those are your stitch patterns. So I tried to, as I was opening them up, I was 3 days behind because I had started the Helen Stewart wrap and then I ripped it out. So I was trying to play a game of catch up, but this was day 1. And then it goes, I did mess up a couple of the days somewhere. I was trying to keep them all in order, but somehow I messed it up, but it doesn't even matter. But I absolutely adore these colors. They are so much fun. This one reminds me of Napoleon ice cream, especially when it was in the skein. This is another one of my favorites, this pink. And there's the last color right there, day 25, which is another one of my favorites. So beautiful. I absolutely love it. Angel, if you're watching this, you did a beautiful job with the colors. There is absolutely not one color in here that I do not love. They're all beautiful. So that's my Sassy Advent wrap. And yes, I am putting it on because I absolutely love it. So I just put it on and I just wrap it once. And oh, it's just like a hug around your neck. It's absolutely, absolutely beautiful. I love it. And you can play with it and, you know, get the colors, move the colors around, and it's just perfect. I love it. So that is the Sassy Advent wrap by Cozy Up Knits. And I could totally see doing this one again. Just, I guess you could use 2 skeins of fingering weight yarn. I don't know. I could totally see doing this in maybe 2 solid colors, or I love the one Jamie did from her Sassy Advent. It was like a rainbow of colors. It was so beautiful. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's a beautiful pattern, whether you do it in just whatever colors you have from your stash. It could be a great stash buster. What have you. It's a beautiful pattern. So the Sassy Advent wrap by Cozy Up Knits, highly recommend. And I do have all these little bits left over from the Advent. So some of them are a little bit bigger chunks like this, and some of them are just little itty bitty pieces, but yeah, I got them in the bag here. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with them just yet. I was thinking of the little tiny gnomes, maybe making one of those with the scraps, or seeing how I can integrate these into my Stitch in Time blanket that I'm doing. I don't know yet, we'll see, but I do have some leftovers, so that's awesome. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So if you haven't gotten an Advent wrap before, or an Advent calendar, sorry, a yarny one, they are so much fun. So yeah, and there's so many options out there too. Okay, so I'm just gonna grab a quick drink here. Okay, so I that's it for finished objects. Like I said, it's not a lot, but that's what I managed to get done that I still have in my possession. So I casted this off, and I just did that yesterday, actually. Was it yesterday? No, perhaps it was the day before. I can't remember. Anyways, I casted it off, and I decided that I wanted to cast on a cowl. I noticed that I don't like wearing I have two shawls, and they're both big shawls. I love big shawls though, but if you know me, I'm a summer person, so I do not like layering. I do not like winter jackets, but it's cold and you need it. So I ended up going out, and I took the Ability bus to the store on Christmas Eve, and I had my big winter jacket, which is very heavy. It's got a fur, like a fur hood on it. And I had my wool toque and my wool mittens, but I realized that out of all of that, I wanted something around my neck. And wearing a big shawl on top of my jacket, it would have drove me bonkers. That would have been too much. So I wanted a cowl. So I was looking around on Instagram and Ravelry, and I ended up seeing one that I had saved in my favorites, I think. And it's the Stewart Park Cowl by Knox Mountain Knit Co. And I have seen this come up on their Instagram before, and I just loved it so much. So, pardon me, I hadn't thought about this cowl when I had went to the store on Christmas Eve, but while I was there, I went to Walmart, so they have a lot of acrylics in that, and yes, I am a yarn snob, but I ended up seeing these 2 balls of Lion Brand, and I love Lion Brand yarn, and it was an acrylic wool mix, and I really love the color, so I thought, I'm gonna grab 2 balls of it, and that should make me a cowl. I would have grabbed 3 because I don't like playing yarn chicken, but they only had 2 of this color, and anyways, it is a bulky weight yarn, so as soon as I saw the Stewart Park Cowl, I knew that that was what I wanted to cast on. So I have it in my Knit Revert bag here. This was in one of my Yarnable boxes. And I will start by showing you the yarn first, which is a little tangled. So this is Hue Plus Me, which is a chunky wool blend by Lion Brand. So it comes in a 125 gram ball, 137 yards. So here is the label. There's your infos. Now, something that I noticed, it is by Lion Brand, but it says 2 of Wands, and that looks like the same label that is on as the Autumn League pullover, the designer of the Autumn League pullover. So I'm wondering if that was a collaboration with Lion Brand? I don't know. But I just noticed that the other day, and I was curious. I have to look into that. But it is a 80% acrylic, 20% wool, and it is soft. It doesn't feel, too bad. It feels really nice. So I casted this on. Like I said, it wasn't last night because I wasn't knitting on this last night, so it had to be the night before. But I ended up casting it on. And for this project, it recommends that you use a 6mm needle for the ribbing and a 6.5 needle for the body. I used a 6mm for the ribbing, and I'm still using it for the body. I noticed that with a lot of patterns, I need to gauge down, or else I'm too loose and then I run out of yarn. So I decided just to stick with the 6mm. And here's what I have so far. It is so pretty, you guys. I absolutely love it. So pretty much what it is, it's This cowl has these beautiful big baubles, and she does give you 2 options on how to do them. And it has some twisted ribbon there. It is beautiful. This is a pattern by Knox Mountain Knit Co. I'm not sure if I said that. So pretty. So this is pretty much the halfway point. This is the halfway point if I remember correctly. So I have to repeat from here up to here once more and then do the ribbing. So even though I chose to use a 6mm for the body, I do like the fabric. I noticed that I had to start the second ball halfway through the twisted rib here, which is the halfway point. So I might be playing a little bit of yarn chicken, so I might have to cut some of my rows out somewhere. But regardless, I'll make it work because I only got 2 balls of it. So that's my cowl, and I love it. And of course, I've got one of my little stitch markers from Tracy of Grizzly Knits. And if you're watching, Tracy, I hope you're feeling better. I love ya. So yeah, I love this. So beautiful. Can't wait to wear it. And literally I casted this on, and within a couple hours I had this much done, which is half the cowl. So it is super, super quick, and it is so much fun to do. So Stewart Park Cowl by Knox Mountain Knit Co. Love it. So it says that it uses approximately 250 yards of a chunky or bulky weight yarn. And yeah, like I said though, my gauge is slightly loose. So even though I chose to use the 6mm for the body, I'm still playing a little bit of yarn chicken. So if they had 3 balls, I would have gotten 3 balls for sure, but they did not. That's okay. All right. So that's what I'm working on. So I'm probably going to pick that up later today and continue working on that. So I have a warm cowl. Our temperatures, they've been, it's a normal winter, but I think today and tomorrow we're supposed to be like -1, which is amazing. Oh my God, to our friends out in Grand Prairie, Alberta, -55 with the windshield. God bless you guys. Oh my God. We've had minus like 25, 30 here so far this winter on certain days. And I've gone outside for like 5 minutes or so, and it's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm going back in. I have to go out for fresh air, obviously, but it's like, no, I'm done. All the wolves in the world can't keep me out here. But yeah, today and tomorrow we're supposed to have like -1, which isn't bad. That's Celsius. But we are going to have a cold snap for this week, so it's supposed to be like -15s and 18s again. So what do? You grab a nice warm beverage and sit by the fire and knit. That's what you do. Yep. So anyways, my next work in progress is in one of my favorite bags ever. This is my J. Hendry Designs bag. Do check them out as well. They are also owners of Full Moon Fibers in Barrie, Ontario. So in this project bag, I just casted this on last night. I got a request for a toque, so I am not far at all on it. I just cast it on 90 stitches, not following a pattern. Cast it on 90 stitches, and I'm just doing stockinette stitch right now. So I'm gonna knit about 8 inches, and then I'll be folding this up and doing like a double hem for a double brim, and just doing a plain black stockinette hat. Nothing too fancy. But yeah, that's what I casted on last night. So I'm gonna be working on this as well to get it done. And for this, I'm just using Cascade 220 non-superwash. There is a superwash one as well, but this one is not. So yeah, I love this stuff. Cascade 220 is an amazing, if you want 100% wool, it's an amazing, affordable yarn. Okay, so for works in progress, that's it. That's all I have for knitting content. So yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot, but that's what I've got. So now we're gonna go on into stash enhancement, or stuff that I have been gifted. So I got a beautiful surprise from my friend Angèle. She had gifted me this beautiful package for Christmas, and she let me open it. I think it was a few days before Christmas, so I was super excited because I was like, I'm a child when it comes to Christmas. It's really hard for me to, yeah. Anyways, one of the things that she gifted me was the little gnomes, and oh my god, they are so adorable. So I did not knit those, Angèle did, and they are by Imagine Landscapes as well. I think there's a couple different styles or ways that you can make them. I don't have the pattern, so I'm not sure, but I definitely will be getting the pattern now because they're just stinking cute. And I don't know, but we do have a ledge here. So our dining table is on the other side of this, like this ledge here that you're seeing. So our cats, we have 2 cats. I know the one cat, the younger one, does get up on it, and she was caught this morning sitting on this ledge, so she might be the culprit. But the little num-num here, that's what I'm calling them, he has been on the floor for a couple mornings in a row. So I don't know if it's vibration. He was sitting on top of the truck. Sidebar, I do scale models as well. I love vehicles, and yeah, so I did build that truck as well. But I thought that would be cute to integrate my 2 hobbies together. So he was sitting on the roof of the truck, so I thought, well, maybe the vibrations of like vehicles going by, because we are pretty close to the street, maybe he's like just falling over and falling off. But we put him beside the truck and he's still on the floor, so I think we found a culprit, but can't accuse her. We didn't see her do it, but he's still intact in one piece. He's not, no gnomes have been harmed, so it's all good. But yeah, gotta love your cats. I do. I love my cats. But yeah, so she gifted me those, and she also gave me a skein of her sugar cookie sock set, and I ended up using her mini skein set, which I do believe I shared with you guys in the last podcast. That is the colors that Gnome Berry is made of. So this really pretty fuchsia pink, the blue, and this color here. And there was also a lighter, slightly lighter blue and a lighter kind of a pastel-y pink that were in that mini skein set. So I didn't say that, but the pattern recommends 4 20-gram minis to do Gnome Berry and Gwoot. And you definitely do not use all the yarn. I do have leftovers. But back to this. She had gifted me this sock set, and I was, for one, floored, but I couldn't have been more happy because this fuchsia color and this sock set is just like absolutely beautiful. It's got pinks and blues, and it's speckled, and I love my speckled yarn. The Northern Pearl. It is an 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and the mini is a 20 gram. absolutely love it. Thank you. So she gifted me that. And she also gave me this beautiful little box with 3 bumps of spinning fiber. I have never seen something so gorgeous in all my life. So this is again the Northern Pearl, and it is a super fine merino, mulberry silk, and Angelina fibers, and it's called Winter Blues. It's 122 grams in total. And if I can hold it properly. They are just so beautiful. I don't know if the camera is going to pick up the Angelina, the sparkle in it. You can totally see it. It's like a blue sparkle, blue silvery sparkle in real life. But oh my God, they are just adorable. Oh, I think you can see some of the sparkle there. And then the last one. You can definitely see the sparkle on that one. So I have no idea how I'm going to spin these ones up yet, but oh my God, when I opened up that box, I was again floored. Angel is a beautiful friend and has a heart of gold, and I treasure our friendship. She is a beautiful person. So she gifted me that, and I posted the picture on Instagram, but she gave me a Christmas ball as well. It said Merry Christmas, and there was a bunch of little like mini wound up little mini skeins inside of it. So it found a beautiful spot on our Christmas tree. So thank you so much, Angel. I love you. So that was the first thing I got, and I'm just gonna resituate some things here. Okay, so this was from my event calendar. So this was day 25. So this was the full skein that I got on day 25. Oh, it's so pretty. And this one is called Holly Berry. And this one is on her merino sock base as well, 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon. I absolutely love this. So I'm not sure what I want to do with it. I was so tempted to wind this up on Christmas Eve and do the Christmas Eve cast on. If you're not familiar with it, it's been around for a while now. Danny of the Little Bobbins podcast, it's her annual Christmas Eve cast on, and usually it's a pair of socks. And this year I chose not to do it. I do it every year, but this year I chose not to do it, just because I was wanting to get this done, because tomorrow evening Clue 1 should be out for the Cozy Up Knits annual mystery knit along. It's a shawl. So I was like, I really want to get this off the needles for sure. And I had some other things. So I decided to finish things instead of casting on things. So I did not cast it on, but I don't know. It's still maybe a pair of socks. I don't know yet. But for now, it's just going to sit there and look pretty because it's gorgeous. So I don't know what to do with it just yet, but I absolutely love it. So this was day 25 of my Advent. Now there will be a little bit of crinkling here. So this was also a Christmas gift to me. So I was gifted some more of Ashford Corriedale top. And this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love Corriedale. It is really nice to spin with. It's got a good staple length, especially if you're new to spinning. Staple length is when you pull or you draft the fiber. Some have a very short staple length and some have a little bit longer. I don't know the exact staple length of the Corriedale, but it is a little bit longer, so it makes it really nice if you're a beginner spinner. I just really love how soft it is as well. So I was gifted that, and this is in the colorway Pansy. And I was also gifted 2 skeins of the Northern Pearl. So this one is called Brindle, which is these beautiful plummy purples and browns. It's just so pretty. And there's the name. And these are all on her merino sock base. And this one is called Illusion, which has purples and teals. So pretty. So I was gifted those. I might have an obsession with Northern Pearl yarn. And then he also got me some spinning fiber. So this is Zenitude Fiber Arts, and from what I understand, they are here in Northern Ontario area, but I've never heard of them. But here's the label. And this is 50% merino and 50% tencel top, and it's 100 grams. It is just so soft and so beautiful. I absolutely love it. So that's the first one. And this is by the same company, and it is the same 50% merino, 50% tencel. Tencel. So pretty. Crinkling again. And this one here, I'm just gonna set this down because I don't want to knock the tripod. This is hand-pulled roving, and I don't know who the maker is. It might be the same company, I'm not sure. But this one here is alpaca, merino, and tencel. And it is really, really soft. So pretty. I love it. So there's that one. And this one again is the same. Oh, actually it is a different company. It's called Lonely Oak Alpacas. And they do have a website. I've never heard of them before. So this one is, this one's actually not marked what's in it, but it kind of looks the same as the other. But look at how pretty that is. I love it. Oh my gosh. So I have a lot to spin. So I am super excited about that. So I don't know what any of that stuff will be, but it's a nice addition to my stash for sure. So I had a very yarny Christmas and I was super excited about it. I loved it. So thank you everybody. I hope your Christmas was yarny too. I got one more thing I'm going to share with you guys, and it's not really a stash enhancement, but I did want to share it with you because I'm super excited about it. Okay, so I have talked about it a few times now, but January 1st is cast on day for the 5th or 6th annual Cozy Up Knits Mystery Knit Along, and it's always a shawl. We don't know what style a shawl it will be, but the girls, I fully trust them. All their designs, I've loved almost every single one of them, so I am not concerned. I just knit along and have a beautiful shawl at the end. But Clue 1 usually gets released January 1st, but they do sometimes release it on New Year's Eve. So I'm going to be eagerly watching for the release tomorrow evening so I can cast on. I'm going to get my yarn rolled up today. So this year, if you go on to their Cozy Up Knits latest episode, they talk about it and what you will need. I'm choosing to do the fingering weight version. There is a DK weight version as well. So they tell you, if you want to do the DK weight version, they tell you, what you will need for it. For the fingering weight version, you will need 2 skeins of either a solid or a light speckled, and 3 20-gram minis. So for my main color, I wound this up myself so it looks terrible, but I chose Polka Dot Creek, and this is on her classic sock base, which is 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 463 yards, and the colorway is Bee's Knees, which I absolutely love it. It's got a little bit of browns in there and pinks and a little bit of purple. I love it. So I know that Polka Dot Creek put together some kits, and Kim and Ginger Snap, the creative knitter, they all put together kits. So if you're looking for an already curated kit, I know that they did some. I don't know if they're still available. I didn't look, but I had 1 skein of Bee's Knees in my stash, and in November, I think it was, I ended up picking up a 2nd skein because I wanted that to be my main color. And then for my contrast, pick the cat hair off of it first, I ended up choosing a couple mini skeins from Polka Dot Creek. I don't have the labels on them, but I believe this one is called Toffee. And I don't even remember what this one is, but it's like a plummy purple. And then my 3rd color that I chose is Midnight Cravings Light Sock in the French Press colorway. And I had gotten this in one of the mystery mini skein scents that Pip and Pin curates. So that's going to be my choice. So what it is, it's 2 skeins of fingering and 3 20-gram minis, and this is your main, these are your pops of color. So that's kind of the idea that I had. What do you guys think? So I kind of like it. I think it'll be nice. So that's my color options. So I'm going to get these caked up today and all ready for tomorrow because I'm excited. I'm always excited to cast on. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you guys. Show you my choices for the Mystery Knit Along this year. So I'm super excited to get that started. So yeah, the pattern is available for purchase on Ravelry and PayHip right now. So go over to Cozy Up Knits. They are on Instagram as well, and Ravelry, and you can purchase the pattern. So it gives you the info sheet of all the things that you will need, and And then clue 1 will be released either New Year's Eve or January 1st. And there is one clue that gets released every week for 4 weeks, I believe. And they do draw prizes as well. So what they usually do is they give you an extra week on top of, so clue 4 comes out, that week finishes, and then you get an extra week to finish if you wish to enter in pictures, like your project for prizes, your finished object. So that's really awesome. So do check them out, Cozy Up Knits, and I will leave the pattern link below for you guys as well, so you can check it out. But yeah, as I said at the beginning, show notes, I always leave them in the bottom description bar. If you like this video, do thumbs it up and do leave a comment. I love hearing from you guys. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I will hopefully see you guys in another 2 weeks. So until then, stay warm, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.